It sure has been a while, viewers, and also, as you had guessed, I got myself Gentleman Jacks. If you're not an alcoholic like me, then you should grab yourself some water. I know, these fuckers are small. But you know, it is better to keep yourself hydrated, so... So yes, as you had guessed, I took a vacation, and this video will be split into two different parts. So this leads to the question of where have I been? Well, originally, I was supposed to be on break on July 6th, but you know what? I got dragged by my grandparents, but it is what it is. So let's cut to the chase and dive into what had happened during the break. We drove to Sydney, my beloved Sydney, my hometown, a city that runs 24/7 no matter where you are. It is constantly busy. You think getting up at 5 in the morning to get ready for work can help you unfuck the huge load of traffic? No, you will be sandwiched regardless. Best bet is to use train stations to get you to the city. However, even if you optimize your time, there is a chance that the train you're supposed to catch will be delayed. It's a lose-lose situation, unfortunately. We're not in the heart of Sydney just yet, as I was on the outskirts and went inside a Vietnamese restaurant. Fun fact, the last time I visited this specific restaurant was when I was around 13 years old. So everything had changed, especially where I got jump scared by a robot that served food. I visited relatives during this time, and it was nice to see them again. Got the chance to talk about what I'm doing with my life, and, you know, what I do for a living, and, you know, hopefully that they don't see me as like a sore loser or some shit. Nothing much had happened during this time, as it took a bit of time for me to settle in. What are my thoughts about Sydney, you may ask? It's great to be back there, and in my perspective, I had to be aware that a lot of things have changed. It's very shocking. To be fair, I haven't been in my hometown for years, excluding Christmas to visit other family members. The only downside is the fucking traffic. The light isn't getting any greener. Alright, so let's move on to June 20th. I arrived in Sydney Olympic Park, and that was the first thing in the morning. Now, viewers, in between the 18th and the 20th, I was planning thoroughly and wanting to meet my friends who live near me. One of those friends, he is the definition of a Greek god. He is also my childhood friend. Imagine a god being your childhood friend. Enough glazing, I hung out with the Raging Spartan 1, who I've known since kindergarten, which honestly, I'm glad that I met this guy. We went through different shopping malls, like grabbing a G Fuel can for myself, different towns to experience different lifestyles, and grabbing something to eat for lunch. We had cheese pizza that wasn't from Domino's. It wasn't much, and despite that, Spartan held some value to it. We kept exploring this particular town, and from what I had learned from Spartan, Camden has one of the worst floods, and at some point, there was a winery business that had to rebuild itself twice. Unfortunately, we didn't go to the winery and instead just strolled around. Once we finished exploring Camden, eventually we stopped and caught a train, and the trip took us a while to get to a certain city. Where did we stop? Well, you know where we stopped. We stopped and traversed through Sydney, the actual city, finally! Ladies and gentlemen, especially you, we are going up, oh shit, this is
Elizabeth Street.
Thank you.
Sydney City. That's the Centerpoint Tower.
Holy shit! Sydney is one of the most liveliest cities in Australia. Well, actually, no. It is the most packed city in Australia, and also the most overrated when it comes to being a tourist. It is packed with restaurants to choose from, and constantly having to squish yourself in different areas, corners to just pass by from point A to point B. And let's not forget the fact that you can't afford to live there unless you have a rich background, or you have a royal family, or you have a girlfriend that you can dick ride on for money. Jokes aside, there was a good reason why we went into the city in the first place. It was to find the mystical trench coat. Now, what is this mystical trench coat that you speak of, Julian? Well, to give you guys a background, Spartan and I took this photo after we found the coat in question. We couldn't find that clothing anywhere else, and even if we did manage to find something worth wearing, it would either be one of the following outcomes. A, too pricey when you reveal the price tag. B, there is no price tag at all, so it's safe to assume we can afford that, right? No!
The one thing I hate about the city, right, is because you have all these, like, things for, like, all these rich people, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No, I don't. We went into our local area, and now we went through a major city that makes it even more difficult and overwhelming for a coat, despite the city actually offering you many things that locals don't. Hey, so what if we pretend that we own this place?
I think the question is, how long could we drag that out and have people genuinely believing it? 2 minutes.
2 minutes? 2 minutes max.
2 minutes is how long I think we can get people genuinely believing this.
You think that me wearing pajama clothing, they're gonna be convinced that I own the place?
No, here's the thing. Rich people, they don't wear designer brand clothes. They wear what you're wearing.
Yeah, because they don't show off, do they?
Yeah, they don't show off.
Oh yeah, you know what? Completely fair. There was another outcome though, which I have not mentioned, which was, see, we found a decent looking coat that I could actually afford.
Coat!
What?
Coat! I saw coat!
Yo, coat!
I saw coat!
No, wait, alright, we gotta go down, we gotta go.
We gotta
Wait.
go down.
Alright, time to go down there. Alright, so where's this trench coat you speak
I
of?
saw coat.
That's not it. Oh, wait, I think that might be it.
Did you see it?
I think it's politics.
Coat!
Code! Oh my god!
Is that
Okay, I thought that was the one entire.
what you're looking for?
Okay.
Something like that?
Yes, we
Okay.
need that.
How much would that one coat?
I don't know. Let's go
Probably
find out.
Probably can't afford it.
We're broke as fuck, aren't we?
Yeah, we probably can't afford it.
Oh fuck.
See, that's just the other one we saw, but more
But
expensive. by
yeah,
100%.
this one's 300,
I
wasn't it?
guarantee you, this is just like those jackets we saw, but it's more expensive. $69.99, but $249.
God damn it. Yeah! Let's go! Moving on, we went to Five Guys as a reward. Damn, that sign is so bright. We ordered cheeseburgers for ourselves, we made it as a meal with fries. For some reason, I didn't take a picture of that. And thick shakes, which also, I didn't take a picture of them. That came down to around $60. $60. I felt terrible. So after we went into Five Guys, we went through Easy Mart, a convenience store that sells American stuff, and the prices do not look appealing whatsoever. I think a G Fuel can cost me $8 Australian. Fuck! Good thing I didn't buy anything there. Holy fucking shit, look at that. Takis, some Monster, some Crush, some Fanta, and some Naruto soda ice candy G Fuel can. Hey. I took some photos of the city, like the Sydney Opera House, the Harbour Bridge, and Luna Park. Afterwards, we decided to take a stroll, and our last stop was McDonald's, where we were accompanied by pigeons in the building. So, what did we get out of this expedition? We had some good food, and took good pics with a trench coat, and I looked so fly on God. What did both Spartan and I learn on this day? We realized that the trip would have been quicker if we looked around thoroughly. We could have gotten the same coat in the same area we were just in, rather than catching a train for a coat. Guess where we looked in the first town? Before Camden, by the way. We looked into Meyer. Guess where we ended up getting the coat from in Sydney? Also, Meyer. Forget about what I said about us not being able to find that anywhere else but in the city. We were just hopeless. Let's fast forward into June 25th. Can you collect my 8 albums? Slenderman. To kill time, I went through a different shopping mall that I had never been in before, apparently bigger than Westfield's Liverpool, and my grandfather suggested we roam around the area. As I entered different shops, legit nothing was interesting. I could have gotten the same experience in Westfields, but instead we went somewhere further away from us. However, there were things that piqued my interest. There were a bunch of anime figures in the middle of the shopping mall. I didn't get anything there. Boo! And then there were Hello Kitty plushies. Oh, and there's Sonic, I guess. While my grandfather was out and about, I really wanted to just go home, go on Instagram, go on Discord, and just tell my friends what I did today. Later down the track, I went into JB Hi-Fi, a retail store that sells electronics and stuff. If I can recall, I was so bored in the shopping center that I went inside JB Hi-Fi 3 times. If you stayed in JB Hi-Fi long enough, you would see me pop in looking bored as shit, then pop out of the store. And before I went straight back the second and the third time, I went around in a complete circle, like the entire shopping center, twice total. You get the picture of how bored I was. She's not developed like we are, like magic, like magic, like magic. Whoa. Finally, the third time, I don't know, but the third time, it felt like, you know, I should say this. Third time's the charm. And viewers, you may be asking me, what? Ochisae, what's going into you? What just happened exactly the third time you visited JB Hi-Fi? Well, let me cook up something real quick. Let's build up the atmosphere first. I walked inside JB Hi-Fi the third time, and I was so curious what the store had to offer when it comes to vinyls. For viewers who don't know me, I really love vinyls, and just looking at the art covers is just, wow. I love it. I actually do own a vinyl player, but it has been thrown inside a storage and we got nowhere else to put it in the house. Moving on, I was so occupied looking at them, and I kept on switching between looking at the discs and looking on my phone. Suddenly, I feel like time fucking stopped and wondering what was happening. I looked around, everything was quiet despite JB Hi-Fi usually being loud. there she was. A beautiful woman that was on the other side. Dark red curly hair, dressed so fine while listening to music in her earbuds. I couldn't form my words properly, I couldn't even focus on what I was doing. I managed to compose myself and finally trying to breathe. I was like, holy shit. I wanted to talk to her so badly. I wanted to talk to her, I wanted to get to know her and see where we end up together. So it took me 20 minutes figuring out what to do in this situation. That's what it felt like anyways. I couldn't stand there, like I wanted to do something. She passes by every so often, went into different areas, while she had the fucking Coke Zero in her hand nonchalantly. Like, just imagine that this is the Coke Zero, right? Like, it's a small one, so it's like... Meanwhile, my heart was fucking racing in the middle of the vinyl section, telling me I have to talk to her so this tension inside me goes away. Fuck! And when she stood beside me, finally, I had the courage to ask a question. Excuse me? Huh? Do you know if there are any Arctic Monkey vinyls? Oh my god, why the fuck did you say that?
You should have said fight! Oh shit!
Oh, it's on the other side. Oh, thank you. No problem. What? That's it? No, wait. It's not over yet. Just let me cook. I'm telling you that there was more to it than just a simple fucking question. Alright, fine. I'll let you continue the story. Now, let's add another 5 minutes after that question. During those 5 minutes, let's say I took pictures of the covers, I was minding my own business, but at the back of my head, something was telling me to keep talking to her, listen to her, and keep her busy. I was crouching to see what else was underneath the shelves. Like, there were a bunch of accessories for vinyls. There were vinyl cleaners, vinyl mats, vinyl racks, or whatever. It didn't really matter much to me. However, she was standing like right next to me. But this time, like, she was above me. And I was just like, oh my god, it's a make or break conversation. It's a make or break conversation. It's a make or break conversation. Oh my god. And finally, having the courage to talk to her about her interests, music tastes, as well as mine, I felt complete. It felt like there was nothing to worry about. As we were continuing our conversation, her mother was messaging her wondering where she was, and she had to leave. But before she left, I asked her if we could hang out sometime, in which she said, sure thing. I grabbed her Instagram, which was cool, and I wanted to see her again. But it didn't happen! And that really sucked because she had family things going on, which I can respect, and I didn't want to rush things. I thought this was a great idea for me to take it slow and just get to know her properly, but she didn't get the chance to know me more.
Why did she leave?
Oh well, let's ignore the fact that I was punching the air when I went home, thinking I scored a woman like...
Yeah, let's fucking go! Mom, I'm getting married! And this love between us cannot separate us!
I hope she has a lovely day ahead of her, and that's all there is to it. If she's watching this video, it was nice knowing you. Alright, let's move on. It's nearing the end of the month. The most mundane things ever in those last few days of June were cleaning dishes, going outside to eat, and straight up just rotting in bed. I think that June was a fantastic month for me to take a break and just relax for once. No content creation, no need to focus on things that I would usually tend to, and at one point, I wanted to go back to Sydney, because the town that I stayed in is so boring, it is so quiet that nothing really interesting goes on. You get a few events here and there, but something that is really intriguing to me is extremely rare. As of this video, there's a Hatsune Miku concert happening in November in Sydney, and I would like to go, but I can't. I'm stuck here for the time being. June also had some mixed bags in smaller days, like the time where I got ghosted by that woman when I really wanted to know her. Someone who I may never see again. I genuinely couldn't figure that out, and as of this video, I texted them saying it was really hurtful, and I'd be more than happy to talk to them again. Response or not, I accept whatever decision that they wanted to go for, and to put it bluntly, they went the easy way out. Nothing I could do about it, and also it's not my responsibility to control something I couldn't. And so that month taught me to keep people that value you as much as you do for them. For some of you viewers who may feel like you don't have friends or you don't have anybody, remember that you have all the time in the world to love yourself. There is time to find friends, and that is also okay if it isn't now or a couple weeks from now. Because realistically, we don't have the ability to sort it out straight away. And I think it isn't on you most of the time why you can't find people that value you as much as you do for this someone. A friend of mine once said to me to let it go to you instead of trying to search. Keyword, trying. And it doesn't apply to just friends, it can also apply to relationships. It's best to be yourself without sacrificing any aspects of you. Someone will love you as much as you love yourself, and keep it that way. Focus on yourself, and I know you'll be okay. That's all for this video, and stay tuned for part 2. As always, this is Ochisae. So, when's part 2?
We're so back, baby!
Yeah. Aight,
That's it for today's video of Corey J.
Frankie and Co? More like Freaky and Co. What the fuck?
Cat, we gotta go to the Nike shop, Cat. What the fuck?
Flynn, I think they got the course elevator with RGB lights. So we got some Berserk manga volumes. Let's see how much this one is. 63? Oh shit. Please keep this area clear. Nuh-uh. Hey, you know what day it is, right? It's Sadar Day. Hey, Darfro, you gotta lock in. Type shit. You know, whenever I'm in a shopping mall and then I look down here, I ask myself, can I survive that fall? No, the fuck you ain't! What are you, a fucking superhero doing a superhero landing? What the fuck?